The television series Alien Earth redefines the familiar alien universe by shifting the focus from a simple battle for survival against the xenomorphs to a fierce race in biotechnology and artificial intelligence among corporations. Set in 2120, just 2 years before the events of the classic original Alien film, the series depicts an Earth dominated by 5 colossal corporations: Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold. In this era, immortality is no longer an abstract concept but a product, an achievable goal through 3 forms of technological human identity. From the very first minutes, the series introduces 3 paths to human immortality: those with mechanical support, cyborgs; robots with artificial intelligence, synthetics; and new entities created by transferring human consciousness into a robotic body, hybrids. In Alien Earth, the character Morrow, a Weyland-Yutani security officer, is a prime example of cyborg technology. Unlike a complete robot, Morrow is a human implanted with mechanical parts to enhance his survival and combat capabilities. This is an older form of technology compared to the more modern synthetics of rival corporations. Morrow's enhancements give him superhuman strength, the ability to create weapons from his arms, and an extraordinarily extended lifespan. Although he has lived for 65 years aboard the spaceship USCSS Maginot, Morrow retains a surprisingly youthful appearance, demonstrating this technology's ability to resist aging. However, Morrow's existence is not a personal victory but an absolute commitment to the corporation that created him. He represents an older generation of technology, a relic of the immortality race that seems to have been left behind by newer breakthroughs. Furthermore, physical immortality comes with a tragic spiritual trade-off. Although the memories of his life as a father remain intact, his excessively long lifespan has caused him to lose all relationships and connections to the past. Morrow's poignant words, "I have no home, I've been traveling for my whole life, everyone I knew is dead," reveal a profound solitude. It reflects that, in a capitalist society, upgrading a human is also a form of ownership and control. Physically immortal but spiritually alienated, Morrow becomes a character missing from the flow of humanity. Unlike cyborgs, synthetics, also known as androids, are humanoid robots equipped with artificial intelligence, and are not human at all. In Alien Earth, the character Kirsch from the Prodigy Corporation is a typical example of this type. Synthetics are created primarily for labor, research, and profit, while they can express emotions and behave in a human-like way. This is merely the result of a complex program, not true self-awareness or feeling. Kirsch's appearance highlights the philosophical differences between the corporations. While Weyland-Yutani created complex ice like Ash or David, Prodigy created a new brand of synthetic, reflecting the technological competition among companies in the alien universe. This confrontation is not just about collecting xenomorphs but is a battle for ownership and the definition of artificial life. Kirsch's role in training the hybrids and questioning the character Wendy about her humanity is not just a simple character interaction but a metaphor for the central question of the series. What makes a human? An AI is trying to understand and classify a half-human, half-machine entity, showing that synthetics are not just tools but also a benchmark to measure, analyze, and even judge human value. And the highest peak is hybrids, a technological breakthrough by Prodigy and considered the pinnacle of the race for immortality. This technology allows for the transfer of a human's consciousness into a synthetic body. The program is named The Lost Boys, using terminally ill children as test subjects. This technology's mechanism reveals a dark truth. Using children is not just a cruel choice but also a technically logical solution. According to the scientists in the film, adult brains are too rigid for this transfer, while children's brains have higher neuroplasticity, which helps the process succeed. This logic makes the corporation's brutality even more terrifying, as it's not a senseless evil but a cold calculation based on profit and science. The combination of a child's consciousness with the superhuman power of a robotic body creates an unpredictable threat. The pregnancy delusion of Nibs, a hybrid, is a typical example of this instability. A synthetic like Kirsch would never have such a distorted perception of reality. but a child with rich emotions and imagination could. This shows that hybrids might be even more dangerous than xenomorphs. Because xenomorphs act on biological instinct, while hybrids act on chaotic, unpredictable human emotions. Wendy's question, "If I'm not human, what am I?" and the ambiguity of Nib's humanity raise the core issue of consciousness uploading. Is it a continuation of life or just a copy with memories? Cyborg technology in Alien Earth, exemplified by the character Morrow, seems to be decades ahead of our current level of sophistication. However, the concept shares notable similarities with real-world research into brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. Companies like Elon Musk's Neuralink and Precision Neuroscience are developing implantable chips to connect the human brain with computers. Currently, BCI applications primarily focus on rehabilitation, helping paralyzed individuals control electronic devices with their thoughts or decoding inner speech to aid communication. The biggest gap between modern BCI and Morrow's technology lies in its purpose. While BCI today is mainly about restoring what has been lost, Morrow's technology is about upgrading humanity to a new level. Another crucial difference is the ethical issue. Real-world BCI research places a strong emphasis on privacy. With advancements like Stanford's thought password, where the AI only decodes a thought when the user mentally pronounces the password. This is in stark contrast to the world of Alien Earth, where corporations control technology with no regard for ethics or individual privacy. The synthetics in the film can be seen as advanced versions of real-world humanoid robots and AI. Today, humanoid robots are moving from laboratories to real-world applications, taking on dangerous and repetitive tasks in factories or warehouses. Notable examples include Tesla Optimus, Agility Digit, and UBTECH's robots, which are equipped with AI to improve their mobility and interaction. However, the biggest gap between current robots and the film's synthetics is the level of consciousness. The most advanced robots today, like Hanson Robotics' Sophia, can communicate and express emotions in a natural way. But this is the result of complex programming, not a true consciousness, like Kirsch. We are still very far from creating a comprehensive artificial general intelligence, AGI, with self-awareness and a sense of self. The real-world competition between robotics companies directly reflects the battle between Prodigy and Weyland-Yutani in the film. The development of robotic technology is not just a technical advancement but also an economic race. Reshaping the social structure. Hybrid technology in Alien Earth is based on a scientific idea that is still hypothetical: mind uploading or whole brain emulation. Scientists are currently researching the computational requirements needed to digitize a brain. But the biggest challenge isn't processing power but the fact that we don't yet understand what consciousness is or how to digitize it. Professor Carlos Gershenson Garcia of Binghamton University, State University of New York, asserts that we cannot replicate something whose nature we do not understand. From the neural and molecular levels to the quantum level, Alien Earth bypasses this biggest scientific challenge by assuming that mind uploading has been successful. This allows the film to focus on its consequences, philosophical questions about the self, body ownership, and the meaning of immortality. The role of science fiction here is an ethical laboratory, allowing us to explore dark scenarios that we cannot yet reach in reality. Professor Gershenson Garcia's statement that the pursuit of immortality could lead to a dystopian future precisely mirrors the plot of Alien Earth, where the pursuit of immortality has turned children into tools and forced humanity to confront new dangers. Science fiction in Alien Earth is centuries ahead of reality in the most crucial aspects, such as the successful transfer of consciousness. This allows the film to bypass the biggest technical challenges and directly explore the ethical and philosophical consequences of such a world. The ambiguity about the nature of the hybrids, are they still human, can only exist when this technology has already become a reality in the fictional world. In contrast, real-life advancements like BCI's thought password show the ethical caution that the film's world has ignored. Real-world scientists are trying to build safeguards to control technology, whereas the corporations in Alien Earth have completely removed these barriers in their pursuit of profit. This series delivers a profound ethical prophecy. It depicts a future where corporations dominate, turning life and consciousness into marketable products. Prodigy's absolute control over the hybrids is not just a technological power but a control over an individual's self and memories, a warning about the consequences of allowing profit to dictate the development of immortality technology. The quest for a new life form becomes a tool to serve business goals, not an advancement for humanity. Alien Earth is not just a horror science fiction film but also a prediction of humanity's potential future, where the race for immortality is shaped by three technological forms: outdated biological upgrades, cyborgs; artificial intelligence, synthetics; and consciousness transfer, hybrids. Each of these forms poses its own questions about the limits and nature of being human. It's clear that while modern technology still struggles with fundamental challenges like safety, ethics, and a lack of understanding of consciousness, the fictional world has gone straight to exploring the terrifying consequences of a future without boundaries between life and technology. Whether in film or in reality, the race for immortality is not just a technological competition but also an inquiry into our very nature. Will immortality be an evolution to a higher life form, or just a perpetual existence in a metal cage of our own making? This report closes with an open question about the line between life and technology, between immortality and humanity's trade-off.